Hi, I'm A.C.Strange, and this is the Bad Movie Show, episode 36, The Alien Show. Now, I'm not reviewing Aliens, the franchise. I'm reviewing 3 science fiction movies that feature aliens. 3 flicks, 3 different alien species. Woo! So let's get started. First up, I have Attack the Block. Rated R 2012, Studio Canal, written and directed by Joe Cornish, starring Jodie Whittaker, John Boyega, and Nick Frost from Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz, and at World's End, he rocks. So we have 5 kids, Moses, Pest, Jerome, Biggs, and Dennis, and they're robbing this woman. And in the middle of robbing her, something crashes down from the sky and hits the car next to them. It's like this weird, hairless, monkey-looking alien thing. They basically run after it, hunt it down, kill it, and parade its body through the neighborhood and all the way to the block, their giant housing complex that they all live in. So they decide to take it to the safest place they know, which is Ron's weed room. Woo! A giant room full of weed. But that's owned by Hi-Hat, a psychotic drug dealer. Okay? After that, they look out the window and they see more of these things come from the sky. And they go down to go kill those aliens. But when they come face to face with these gorilla wolf looking motherfucking aliens, they find that they have more than they expected and run for their lives. Now these things have glow-in-the-dark teeth and basically kill everything that they come in contact with and follow them all the way back to the block where they decide to defend themselves. They team up with these tough chicks from the block and the woman that they robbed. And then Moses and his boys just figure out and decide that they have to fight these things to save the block and the planet. Now this is action-packed, badass, cool, some great acting. And we get to watch Moses turn from a thuggish boy to a man all in the one performance. I think that this was great. This gets a 4.5 right out the box. I've seen it like 6 times and it's great every time. And I dare you not to chant at the end. This is great. And John Boyega, who plays Moses, made it to my list of actors I'm watching out for because he kicks ass. So this is great. I suggest everybody see it. 4.5. Own this. I thought it was awesome. I met one person who didn't like it, but they didn't get past the beginning. And I have no idea why they didn't sit through the rest of the movie. I thought it was great. I think the aliens are cool, and it's a little different than a lot of the other alien movies you get to see. So I also heard that that was like compared to like Goonies and Gremlins. Only if the kids are thugs, smoke pot, and rob people. But it's still awesome. Next up we have Decoys, rated R 2004. Columbia TriStar Home Entertainment, written by Matt Hastings and Tom Berry, directed by Matt Hastings, starring Corey Seaver, Stephanie Von Fenton, Megan Dry, and Nicole Eggert from Charles in Charge and Baywatch. She plays a cop in this. Okay, so we have Luke, a college freshman, who meets these 2 beautiful babes, Lily and Constance, and he tries to return something to them and sees something. He sees one of them transform. He thinks, kinda, he was drunk, but he did see one of them sprout like tentacles out of her titties, while the other one was spraying nitrous oxide or whatever the cold thing is, nitro stuff that's really cold. And he freaks out. He's not exactly sure what he saw, but he knows that something's wrong, right? And he goes to the cops, but the cops that think that he's doing it. And what's going on is these beautiful babes are aliens from a dead planet, and they are freezing the guys that they're trying to mate with from the inside out. Luke will do anything to save his school, even expose these Cthulhu cuties because they got all these tentacles. Anyway, so I thought this was cool. It was better as it went on. In the beginning we were like, and as it went on we were like, oh snap, okay, whatever. The aliens are so cool when they're fully transformed, and it was kind of romantic, which was cute too. I'm going to give this a 3 and a C it, but I'm also going to say if this was a student in my class, I'd give it a little happy face for trying hard, okay? I know that there's a Decoys too, and I'm going to watch that and review it for you, but, you know, this was sexy and kind of cute and sweet, and like I said, the aliens were hot and then cold. When you see, you know what I'm talking about. So we dug this. We thought it was much better as it went on, and this was a surprise. So good for you, Decoys. Next up, last but not least, my oldie but goodie for the night. Ready? Alien Nation. Yeah, that's right. Rated R, 1988. Written by Rockne S. O'Bannon. Directed by Graham Baker. Starring James Caan, Mandy Patinkin, and Terrence Stamp. 3 amazing actors. Check them out. So this is in a futuristic 1991. Remember, this is me in 1998, so that was the future. Aliens, an alien species, comes down and touches down in Los Angeles, and after quarantine, they actually assimilate and become part of the culture down there, and we call them newcomers. Okay, newcomers, they become teachers, doctors, cops, even thuggish drug dealers. And after, well, we meet Matt Sykes, okay, a sergeant whose partner was killed after they tried to stop an armed robbery with 2 newcomers who kill another. And then he goes back to work and decides to take on a newcomer detective as his partner to help him figure out what happened and solve the case. They take a similar case to the one where, you know, the robbery that killed his partner. And Sykes and his new partner, San Francisco, who he called George, they, you know, find themselves in the middle of a drug-making ring that they're trying to make a drug called Jambroca, which is like crack for newcomers, okay? George will do anything to stop this drug from hitting the streets, and Sykes is just trying to keep up with him. Sykes is a big bigot and is not very nice to George, but that changes the deeper they get into this case. This movie is still cool. Still cool. The best part about it is all the details in the newcomers. I mean, they have 2 hearts, they only eat raw meat, they get drunk on spoiled milk, and they're really, really strong. And instead of kicking them in the nuts, you gotta hit them at the armpit to get them down. It's pretty badass. Watching it this time, I sat there going, wow, I forgot how cool this movie really was. And I have to give this a 4 and a see it again. And if you like what you see when you watch this, you got to check out the TV show. There's a TV show that went with this, which is really cool too. So, like I said, the details are great. The language is really cool, and they actually had this weird graffiti in the movie that we actually had. We had on the walls back then when this came out. So I thought that was cool. So yeah, 4 and see it again. Like I said, it was really great watching it this time. We were like, wow, that movie's pretty cool. And James Caan's probably the coolest man on earth as far as I'm concerned. And I love Mandy Patinkin because he sings like an angel. But he doesn't really sing in that unless he's singing San Francisco. Anyway, I'm going on. So that's it for me tonight. What do you think about tonight's show? What do you think about tonight's aliens? Do you have any really cool alien movies you think I should check out? Please let me know. And until then, watch more movies. I'm A.C.Strange, and this is the Bad Movie Show. Good night.